Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you all are fine and doing well. Myself, Alok, your moral science teacher. I would like to welcome you in this moral science class. Dear students, in today's class, we are going to start a new lesson, that is the lesson number 2. In lesson number 1, we have studied about a story. In that story, we have studied that we should not that come in flattery, means if someone is praising you falsely, wrongly, that you should not come in that, you must utilize your wisdom. Okay, and in today's class a new lesson we are going to start and new things we will learn. So let's begin the lesson. So here the starter of the lesson, it is given, looking for faults in others is a dangerous habit. We lose sight of our shortcomings if we waste our time thinking we are superior to others. Would not correcting our own faults be a better use of our energy? What a starter it is explaining. It is explaining that looking for faults in others is a dangerous habit. Means if you are looking the faults of others, that what others are doing, others are doing wrong, so it is a very bad habit, it is a very dangerous habit, and we should not inculcate this habit in ourselves, that we have to look others fault. Okay, we must look the good things in others. Always we should see the good things in others, not the bad things. Okay, we lose sights of our shortcomings if we waste our time thinking we are superior to others. If you think that you are the superior to others, okay, and finding the faults of others, then what is happening? That time you are wasting your time by thinking that you are the superior, and you are not finding your shortcomings. What are your shortcomings? What things are lacking in you? You must try to find that what shortcomings are there in you, that you find. Don't find that what other shortcomings are there. Okay, so now at the last it is given, would not correcting our own faults be a better use of our energy? So it is not that, it is explained that by the author, that do you think that it would be the would not be correcting our own faults be better use of our energy? When we utilize our energy to correct ourselves, to find our faults, do you think that it would be that better use of our energy? That it is asked question by authors. Now let's see that one story is given. By that story you will understand nicely. So story is like this. A man well known for his wisdom took his son to a beautiful garden to pray and to meditate. Many others had gathered there for the same purpose. The fragrance of the flowers, the soft whispering of the breeze, and the quiet murmur of a stream create a sense of peace. The father and the son sat in the shade of a tree. The boy, following his father's example, closed his eyes and filled his mind with the spiritual thoughts. But after some time, he became tired. He lost his focus and began to look around. First at the flowers and the birds, and then the people. To his surprise, he saw, okay, in next paragraph it is explained. So here first you understand that what it is explained here. Here it is saying that a man was there who is very well known for his wisdom. What he is doing, he took what he does, what he did, he took his son to a beautiful garden. For which purpose? To pray and to meditate. To pray and meditate, that man, he took his flower, his son, and going to a garden for the prayer and for the meditation. Okay, many others has gathered there for the same purpose, and so many other people are also going in that garden for the same purpose. For the same purpose means for the praying and for meditating. Okay, The fragrance of the flower and the soft whispering of the breeze and the quiet murmur of the stream create a sense of peace. In that garden, it is very much peaceful garden. It was a very peaceful garden. Why it was very peaceful a garden? Because there are lots of things was there, like the fragrance of the flower, the smell of the flower, fragrance of the flower, the soft whispering of the breeze, and breeze is blowing softly, and the quiet murmur of a stream, means a stream is flowing there, and sound is coming, that sound, that is murmur sound. Okay, murmur means a sound which is coming after the when water is flowing. So that sound makes a sense of peace in that garden. Okay, the father and the son sat in the shade of a tree. In the shade of a tree, what happened? Both the son and the father, they sat. Okay, and the boy, following his father's example, closed his eyes and filled his mind with a spiritual thought. And what that boy was doing? The boy, he closed his eyes by means following his father, that he closed his eye and 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 filled his mind with a spiritual thought. But after some time, he became tired. After some time, that boy became tired. Okay, tired of meditation and praying. Then he lost his focus and began to look around. Then after what happened? He lost his focus and started seeing here and there. So first at the flowers and the birds. First he saw the flowers and the birds, and then the people, and then he saw the peoples, what peoples are doing. To his surprise, what he saw? He saw that more than half of them were asleep. He saw that more than half of the people who gathered here to pray and meditate, they are sleeping. They were asleep. The boy thought about this, and then boy started thinking about this. All these people have come to pray here. All the people have come to pray here. They all think they are devoted and religious. They are thinking that all the people that they are devoted and religious, but they are not praying. But in really, they are not praying. They are just pretending. He is thinking that they are just pretending. This bothered him, and this thing bothered him, that why they are pretending. They are showing that they are devoted and religious, but they are not praying, they are sleeping. So why it is so? This thing bothered him. So he kept thinking about it. Okay, the boy kept thinking about this all. And then another thought came to him, a most dangerous thought indeed. Okay, indeed means in really, a dangerous thought came in his mind. What thought came in his mind? He turned to his father and asked, "Are we not better than those who are sleeping instead of praying?" He asked his father that, "Are we not better than those who are sleeping instead of praying?" Instead of praying, they are sleeping. So don't you think that we are the better than them? The father remained silent. The father, he remained silent for a while, and then he replied that we might have been, had you not asked this question. If you had not asked this question, we might be that superior to them. But now you have asked this question, so now we are not superior to them. Okay. So by the story easily you can understand that we should not find the faults of others. Okay, what is your duty? You must do your duty whether others are doing or not. What is happening in our society? Like a class is there. I am giving one example, that in the class, suppose a teacher is not coming for some time, maybe due to any problem the teacher is not coming. So what is the everyone's duty? All the students duty is that, like whatever subject is there, that subject that student has to study. Okay, all the students should take out that subject and go through the chapter, which chapter will be taught by the teacher. But what is happening, that some students, they will start talking and doing some other activity. By seeing those students, some more students will start doing the same thing. So this is happening in our society also, that what we do, we don't bother about our duty, that what is my duty, I should do my work, whether others are doing or not doing. It is not that, just we are seeing the others, what others are doing, and we also start following them. Okay, and if teacher will come, then he will ask, he will start saying, sir, he was also doing, so I also start doing. It is not there. We must not see the others, we must see in ourselves what is your duty, and you must do your task. Don't bother about others, what others are doing, and don't try to find the faults of others. If any shortcomings are there in you, that shortcomings you have to remove from you. Okay, so this is the moral of the story. Now some questions. Question number 1, why did the man and his son go to the beautiful garden? The answer is, the man and his son go to the beautiful garden to pray and to meditate. Question number 2, were they alone? Answer is, no, many others have gathered there to pray and to meditate. It means they were not alone. Question number 3, what was there about the garden that creates a sense of peace? What was there in the garden which makes the sense of peace in the garden? The answer is, the fragrance of the flowers, the soft whispering of the breeze, and the quiet murmur of a stream created a sense of peace in the garden. Okay. Question number 4, where did the father and the son sit? Answer is, the father and his son sat in the shade of a tree. Question number 5, what did the boy do following his father's example? Answer is, the boy closed his eyes and filled his mind with spiritual thoughts. Okay, by following his father. Question number 6, wait, once again understand this chapter. What did the boy do following his father's example? The boy closed his eyes and filled his mind with spiritual thoughts. Okay, by following his father's example, the boy closed his eyes and filled his mind with a spiritual thought. Like this also you can write. Next, question number 6, when did the boy begin to look around? The answer is, the boy lost his focus and began to look around. Question number 7. Question number 7, it is given, what did the boy see? Answer is, he saw that more than half of the men were asleep. Question number 8, what bothered him? The answer is, the thought that they have come to pray but they are not praying. This thought bothered him. Okay, the thought that have come to the thought that they have come to pray but they are not praying. This thought bothered him. Question number 9, what dangerous thought come to him? The answer is, he thought that he is better than those who are sleeping instead of praying. Last question, question number 10, what did he ask his father? The answer is, he asked his father, are we not better than those who are sleeping instead of praying? Question number 11, what was the father's answer? The answer is, the father replied, we might have been better than those had you not asked that question. If you couldn't ask this question, then we could be better. So this is your last question. Now some hard words which is used in this lesson. First one is murmur. Murmur means any low indistinct sound. Indistinct sound means any indistinct sound means that is called murmur. Bother, to annoy or to disturb. Devoted means dedicated. And exult means to rejoice and to be very happy. Ponder means wonder or think deeply. So these were the some hard words. All these hard words, what you are going to do, you are going to write in your copy and learn all these hard words with their meaning. Now the next activity, it is the vocabulary, that it is not mentioned here, that you have to complete yourself, fill in the blanks, okay, in your book. Now the next topic, it is here discussion. Question, it is given that what kinds of thought might indicate a feeling of superiority in a person. So what kind of thought might indicate the feeling of superiority, that we are superior than other person? So when we think that we are the superior than others, what kind of thoughts might indicate a feeling of superiority in the person? So when we are thinking, when we start saying others, when we are finding the faults of others, that time we feel that we are the superior than others. So on this question we will have the discussion in the class. So nicely there we will discuss. Okay. Now next one is the memorization. What is the memorization? Know ye not why we created you all from the same dust, that no one should exalt himself over the others. Ponder at all times in your heart how ye were created. Now here memorization part is there, here a quotation. Here it is explained that know ye not why we created you. Here God is saying to us that you know that why we have created you from the same dust. Because after death, when we will die, we will become the dust. Like on the same earth, we will become same dust. We are made from the same dust. Means after dying, same thing will happen. Whatever everyone will have the same thing. They will be in the soil. So that only God is saying to us that do you know that why we have created you from the same dust, that no one should exalt himself over the other. So we should not exalt himself over the others. Over the others, you will not think that you are the superior. Okay. Ponder at all the times. Always think all the times that your heart how you were created. Always think that how you were created. Because same God has created you. And we are not the different. We are the same. Okay. So we should not think that we are the superior than others, because same God has created us and from the same dust. After dying we will be also becoming the same. So therefore we should not feel the that we are the superior than others. Okay, so this is that here quotation. You are going to learn this quotation. Okay. Now the assignments. What are the assignments? Here complete the question and answer of lesson 2 in your book and learn nicely. Lesson number 2 question answer you will complete in your book and learn all the question answer. Complete the fill in the blanks of lesson number 2 in your book. In your book you have to complete the fill in the blanks. Memorize the quotation of lesson number 2. Lesson number 2 quotation, just now we have discussed that quotation, you will memorize. And the last, write and learn the hard words of lesson 2. So these are the some assignments. All the assignments of this chapter you will complete. Okay. So that's all for today's class. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.